Max. Welcome if you're joining us. It's just a pop-up stream, which means it was not a scheduled stream. Been doing some pop-ups recently on Sundays, just as a little bit of fun, and I can be in the stream a little bit too. I've got the selfie stick. Just adjust that a little bit so it's easier to hold. And Max is hanging out here. Yeah, I'm wearing my Max Moluccan shirt today. Max is wearing his red harness, so we are ready just to hang out on the patio. Beautiful, beautiful morning to have coffee on the patio. So hello, and welcome if you're joining us. If you are joining us, oh, it's okay, Max. It was just a wasp flying past. You leave Mr. Wasp alone, okay? Yeah, but if you are joining us, back up in the comments. Let us know you're here. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, yesterday was an exciting day for Max. We were out at Parrot Palooza all day, and Max got lots of attention. We were on the local news for global news and for city news, and that was in Calgary. And we were even on Global National, and that was this morning. So that's all of Canada, so that's pretty cool, right, Max? So we've had a great weekend. Max was super, super well behaved at Palooza. Yeah, you were. We didn't have a single scream. We hang out quietly on the chair. Actually, Max decided that the chair was where he wanted to stand most of the day, which was great. It saved my arm. We were in lots and lots and lots of pictures. We saw all of our friends. And I mean, it's the fun thing about Palooza is we'll see friends that we haven't seen all year. They'll stop by the table. They'll say hello. Some of them are folks from the Parrot Club, like Brian, Lori, Boop. Yeah, you got a Boop Boop. Greta's was there, Cora, and a few of her board members from Greta's Rescue were there. They had a couple of adoptable birds that were out. We had lots and lots of vendors. Max had his table. We had Max merch out. Max saw his buddy Corky, so really, really great opportunity to hang out with people. And oh my goodness, was it ever busy. So we had our table out with some of our Max merch. We had some new Max merch at the event that we have not had available for folks previously. Brand new necklace design, right, Max? Brand new keychain design. Yeah, so those will go up on our Etsy pretty soon. What else is there to tell people about? Come on, Max, up. Yeah, stand up for a second. I want to show off my shirt. So I've got my Max the Moluccan shirt. Hopefully you can get a good look at it there. But you'll see in some of the videos from Palooza as well. And we do have 4 shirts available that we didn't sell from the event. I have small available in a white design. I think I have a large with the gray background and a black with a gray background, both with the blue round Max logo. I know I've got an extra large. Yeah, but if you're interested, message me. And we'll see what we've got, and we'll see what we can hook you up with. We can ship those worldwide, and we'll give you sure prices on those. So those are kind of fun. Yeah, there's no need for me to hold inventory on shirts, but I wanted to mention those. So if you are looking for one of the blue logo shirts, we do have those available. I'm just going to bring the camera in for 1 second so I can read some comments, Max. Hi, Amberty. Hi, the namesake. Hey, Amberty, you are on the live with us right now. You're in the chat. We're not doing dual streaming on the live today. Hi, Jordan. Hi, Sherry. Elizabeth. We've got a couple of our InstaFlock supporters. Oh my gosh, Sherry Buck, I just love that emoji. Super, super, super cool. Karen's here. Max, got a buck for Karen. She's also a supporter. Got Elizabeth, who's a supporter. Oops. I'm just trying to read comments here. actually going to flip this. There we go. That makes it easier to read comments. Yeah, we did post one video with Gizmo. Max was showing off for Giz. Giz was just sitting pretty quietly the whole thing. I think he was a little overwhelmed. Chatted nicely with his folks, and yeah, we were chatting with Kyle a little bit about the plushies. Because as you know, we did our Max the Moluccan exclusive plushies earlier this year with the removable hoodies. I know I talked about those for a long time. Those are going to be shipping soon. I think they start shipping in October, just after they finish manufacturing. But we were chatting with Kyle and Giz about that. And both of us were actually pretty annoyed that we were put for sale at the exact same time. Because I certainly had meetings with Gimme Swag, and as did Kyle, asking them to make sure that we're not up against any other bird creators. So not only did they put 2 bird creators in the same month of sales, but 2 bird creators from Calgary. I mean, oh my goodness. So we were not super happy about that, but that is what it is. But you might see some collabs that we do with Giz. We were chatting with them about that too. But it's always kind of fun to hang out. Right, Max? Yeah. So Palooza was good. Yeah, we saw so many of our friends. Yes, Max. We sure did. Saw a few friends from dance who were there. You know, it always surprises me how many people come out to events like that. How does Max take his coffee? I forget who suggested this, but it was last year. We had a picture of hanging out at a coffee shop with Max. I was having coffee outside with a friend of mine, and somebody suggested that Max might like a boccaccino. So yeah. No, we had some water this morning, right, Max? Nice, tasty water. So good. Hi, Jordan. Hi, Sherry. Eleanor. Yes, Elizabeth, we saw Brian. We were actually on the news with Brian, which is kind of fun. I'll see if I can get a little bit of news coverage in a video this week. I've just got to check if what I can use sort of for fair usage, and I think that there's ways I can do that. Yes, Max. A buck from Karen. We didn't have any box at the event, did we, Max? No box for any birdie. But what we did have going into the event, Max was busy just telling everybody that they were awesome. So he gave everybody a pep talk before the event started. Yeah, Elizabeth says hers is shipping October 21st to November 21st. That is right. That's when everything's shipping. So that's kind of fun. All right, let's flip this camera around a little bit. I've just checked out the comments. So we're not going to be live super long. We just thought we'd do a pop-up on the patio. But yeah, so definitely had a fun weekend. But yeah, the week's been busy just getting ready for Palooza with work and everything else. Right, Max? Yeah? So, Mango was not happy with Palooza at all. Now, he stayed home. But I was loading the car Friday night, and I had some stuff still to take down to the car at 2 a.m. So I had to walk past Mango's cage early hours of the morning. And he does not deal well with early morning wake-ups or midnight wake-ups. My flock, they sort of crack an eye, look at them like, the rest of my flock, they just crack an eye and look at me and then sort of shrug and go back to sleep. But Mango tends to get a little bit upset if I come in. He's used to the fact that I'll sometimes come downstairs, do things like double check I've locked the door, or go all the way down to double check the garage. And, he now understands when I'm coming downstairs. I'll tell him it's me so I don't freak him out. But, yeah. And then he had an early morning wake up yesterday. I looked at the clock wrong. I cracked open an eye and I went, it's Saturday, it's 8 a.m. oh my gosh, I gotta get going. I just went racing downstairs, only to realize it was only 6 a.m. So the flock did not have to be up for 6 a.m. Um, Palooza started at 10. Setup started at 8, and I mean, we were there and setting up around 9. So we had a little bit of time to set up. But yeah, but in the morning, Mango, when I came downstairs for the second time, Mango just gave me what for. And he was also pretty mad because he likes his Harrison's pellets. He is a bird of fine taste. My flock eat a whole bunch of different pellets, but Mango's quite picky, and we'd run out. Now, it's not as bad as it sounds. We'd ordered some, and Parrot Trends just said, hey, do you want me just to bring your order to Palooza? And I said, oh yeah, that would work super, super well. I should have enough. And I mean, if I've got a day without his Harrisons, it's not the end of the world, because we've got lots of other food here. We have lots of other pellets. We have lots of freshies. But yeah, yesterday morning, Mango just wanted to throw a little bit of a tantrum, toss everything on the ground. We even gave him some nuts, which went flying because he said no, that's not what he wanted for breakfast. He wanted his favorite cereal, which happens to be Harrison's. So yeah, so he was in a mood yesterday. And then I left and I was out all day, and Mango's used to me being home all day. So that was also a little bit upsetting to him. Tico, they just shrugged, and it's like they just take it in stride. It's like, this is normal. Like, what's wrong with this? Nothing's wrong with this. I mean, Momager sometimes goes out. She always comes home. It's great. But Mango is used to me being home all day. He's used to me hanging out with him. He's used to having me at his beck and call, or is that beacon call? So, he sort of said, hey, you're not allowed to go out. You're supposed to be here 24/7. But he's very much into his routines. The rest of the flock's used to sort of varying routines. I do work full time, but I'm super, super fortunate that I can work from home. And yeah, that was actually a blessing that came from the pandemic, wasn't it, Max? Yeah. So I'm home all the time for the flock. And, even if I'm working upstairs, they might be in the cage, but they know that I'm home and they can entertain themselves. So yeah, Max. A big preening. Yeah, you look good today. You were so well behaved at Palooza, buddy. So well behaved. So I'm just going to flip the camera again. There we go. Flip the camera. Yeah, Karen says Tico and Tikel are so chilled they're horizontal. Well, I was watching Max at Palooza, and I mean, he was just chilled out. He was just hanging out. He was taking in the sights, not too excited. He showed off his crest and flapped a few times, but didn't scream at all. Just this super, super well-behaved boy. And, it just had me reflecting and thinking, just how mature Max really is. And, as time passes, he just gets more and more mature. He's still a child at heart, but, he knows what's expected of him. Had a friend helping out at my table, and this friend of mine, but not a super big bird person. And Max actually let our friend give him a glass of water, some scritchies, and I went for a few walks without Max, including to go outside to go move my car before the event because we'd parked close to set up. And Max just sort of looked and he just sort of shrugged and said, that's fine. It's not a problem. You can leave me here. Now, I mean, we're in a room full of bird people, so if there would have been a problem, there would have been 100 hands to help as we were setting up. But, so that was really, really great, wasn't it, Max? So I was really proud of Max for that. All right, Max, you want to preen? I'm just going to try and keep your beak in. Oh, gosh, no. My flock, they're my family. I wouldn't sell any of my kids. I love them all. Yeah. No, but I'm just saying, it's just so amazing to see the differences between different flock members, and how they act and how mature they are. And just this changes over time, right, Max? Yeah, yeah. A few years ago, he at Palooza, he had a few good screams, showed everybody why you don't want a Moluccan cockatoo because they could be so loud. But yeah, this time it was just super duper well behaved, right, Max? Scritch, scritch. Oh, that feels good, doesn't it, honey? So good, good, good. So good, good, good. Yeah. Hi, Eduardo. Hi, Sergio. So the Rat King is saying that birds should not be pets, they should be free to fly. Absolutely. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about the bird trade. I don't think that most parrots should live in captivity. It's not the best thing for them. But what the reality is, we have a lot of birds who do live in a captivity and who've been bred to be living in captivity. And a lot of people are not set up to deal with large parrots. They don't understand what they're getting into when they get them, and they're not able to meet their needs, because it's not just like a cat or a dog where you just hang out with the cat or the dog. And I'm just going to flip the camera around here so we can get Max preening there. And I'm here talking as well. But it's not like a cat or a dog where, they're domesticated and they do reasonably well living inside the house. A parrot or a bird tends to take a lot more attention. They can be loud, they can be messy. Oh my gosh, can they be messy? And I mean, Max is a toddler for life. He's going to need attention for his entire life. And that's not just when I think about it, not just when I think about taking him out of the cage. He needs constant stimulation. He needs new toys, new games. He needs to be socialized. It's constant. So the fact you see me sitting outside here on a Sunday, it's not just Sunday. I mean, we do special times every single day, and every flock member gets one-on-one time, as well as some time just hanging out with me sort of as a group. So, a lot of times, though, birds get bought as pets. They get bought from breeders. And the first thing that happens, somebody buys a bird, they think they're sweet, that bird grows up. And they start to develop some bad behaviors, and people don't know how to deal with those behaviors. Here's a tip for you. If you don't know how to deal with the bird behavior, talk to somebody like Parrot SOS. Our friend Robin from Parrot SOS is a really, really smart lady. First thing she's going to tell you to do is to listen to your bird, but she's going to teach you how to communicate. And she's going to teach you to learn what your bird needs and help your bird understand what you need. And she's going to help you fix up that relationship. There's so much that we're just not equipped to live with birds. They think so differently than we do. But, she's going to be the first person I'm going to say to talk to for help if you're having a problem with your bird. But here's the thing. Here's the thing with birds. Somebody like Max, absolutely, he should be flying free in Indonesia, out in the Moluccan Islands, wild and free. But the reality of the thing is, he was born and bred in captivity. He does not know how to bird. We're in Canada. I mean, he would not last outside here. He would not last a day outside. He would not know how to get food. He would not know how to get water. And the temperature, the climate, it is not appropriate for him. Even taking him into Indonesia, he would not be able to survive because he would not know how to manage. But he spent a couple of years of his life being part of a family, and then the rest of that first 10 years he spent in a basement, and he's a rescue. Like, he spent his first 10 years, I say, in a basement because I'm sure he had a few good years in there, but then he started acting up, he started having some behaviors. His owners had some changes in their lives. They had kids, they got some additional pets, they got busy with work and life, and they just did not have as much time for him. And he got noisy. He tried to communicate, and the only way he could get attention was biting and screaming, so that's what he did. So what happened? He's living in a basement because he's too loud and he's biting and screaming, and it's no fault of his own. That's the way he knew how to communicate. So he needed to learn some better ways to communicate, and he needed to have his needs met. He needed to learn that he could trust me. He needed to learn that, proper ways of behaving. And, while still being bird, how can he bird within the constraints of a house? Like, how can we set him up for success? So I am a huge, huge supporter of adoption. Of the birds that are already out there who are living in rescues, that are being rehomed, that need somebody to love and care for them and to provide them with a space where they can live a life of enrichment. So I don't support somebody buying a bird, slapping them in a cage, and leaving them in a cage 24/7. You would not do that to a toddler. You should not do that to a bird. Birds are far too intelligent to be kept in a cage like that. Now, absolutely, I go out. The birds are in a cage. You gotta do that, because otherwise your house will be destroyed. When I'm at work, they hang out in their cages and play. But the cages, they see them not as a restriction, but they see that serves as a room. They've got some games that they play inside, some toys that they play inside, but they get lots of time outside of the cage as well with me. So I basically have designed my life to basically work with the flock. So while I do agree that we should not be breeding birds for the pet trade, especially the larger parrots, I think that there's some realities that we need to look at and say, adopt, don't shop. And if you've got a bird and it's a bad fit, and you're saying, oh man, I wish I had a bird like Max because mine bites, mine screams, makes a mess, mine's antisocial, I got some news for you. Max can bite. Every bird can bite. Max can scream. Oh boy, can he ever. But he does not need to communicate. He's learned better ways to communicate, and we've built up a relationship. But Max, when I met him, the last thing his owner said to me was, oh, by the way, he loves men and hates women. And I got some news for you. I'm definitely all female here. And, I was probably the worst match for Max because, if he loves men and hates women, what am I doing? And he's biting and screaming like, he couldn't be out of his cage. He was just a wild, wild child. And we needed to build up some trust. But I always hold Max up as living proof that there's always hope to rebuild a relationship. There's always hope to forge a relationship. Even if a bird has some behaviors that are non-productive, you have to stop and ask yourself, well, that bird is screaming and biting nonstop. Why? Because every behavior is done for a reason. Every behavior is done to elicit some form of response. And that was the way he got attention. That's the way he reminded people to feed him. That's the way he reminded people that he was there. That was so important for you, wasn't it, Max? But now he knows he does not have to do that. He can just say, he can tell me he wants some water. He can use his words. He can, he shows me what he wants. He walks over in his cage and he rattles his water bowl. I'll go check and say, hey, what's going on, dude? Do you need some fresh water? I changed it 10 minutes ago, but did you just drop something in it that you don't want in your water bowl? Because that happens. How often do we sometimes change a water, buddy? Multiple times a day. But, it's really about understanding the behaviors, understanding what they're designed to do, and finding and replacing better ways of doing the behavior. Max, is he going to be a doll 100% of the time? No. Is any toddler going to be well behaved 100% of the time? No. So it's really no different with birds. And Karen also has a really, really, Max has absolutely loved Elizabeth. Max has been with me for 20 years, and he's now 30. Tico's been with me for 29 years. I'm a bird lady through and through, and it's just, I've been a bird lady for so many years. And, does the word crazy come into it? Probably. Like, if you're sharing your house with a large parrot, you've got to be a little bit crazy. What do you think, Max? Am I a little bit of crazy? Yeah? Good job. No, you want some more Scred cheese. Oh, yeah, they take a lot of time. They take a lot of effort. They're expensive. Their food is expensive. Vet care is expensive. The proper environment is expensive. The best bird toy is the one that gets destroyed. I mean, that's how they love to play. They love to destroy things. So, I mean, you know that that's going to be part and parcel of what you've signed up for. So, you know, if you have a bird, just go in with eyes wide open and understand what kind of demand they have, what they need from you, how much of your attention they're going to need, and go in with realistic expectations. And don't be afraid to ask for help. I mean, there's a lot of people out there who understand the birds, like Parrot SOS. You know, that's her business, is helping people understand birds and helping birds understand people. I mean, it's about fixing relationships, and it's about teaching appropriate behaviors that, you know, meet everybody's needs. So yeah. Yeah, I'm flock leader, but, you know, and I mean, I call myself momager, you know, and I'm the one who makes some of the rules, but you know what? It's democracy. You know, I might have a rule that we don't go outside without wearing a harness. And I mean, today Max is wearing his red harness, and I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, he's kind of preening some of his feathers over it, but he's wearing his red aviator harness. There it is right there. It's super comfortable, and he understands that's the rule. If you want to go outside, you're going to be safe. It's like saying to a little child, if you want to ride in the car, you're going to wear a seatbelt, or if you're going to cross the road, you're going to hold my hand. And, you know, you're going to wait for the light, you're going to be safe, and it's about safety. So Max does not have a choice whether or not he wears his harness. But what he does have a choice in, whether or not he can sit outside and hang out with me on the patio. Does he want to come outside or not? He also has a choice of which harness do you want to wear? Which color do you want to wear? Do you want to wear blue or purple or green? Today it was red. Yesterday it was red. I mean, he wants his red harness right now. But he can pick and choose, you know, what is appropriate to choose. So while he can't choose whether or not he wears a harness, he can choose which harness he wears. So, I mean, it's about giving agency, it's about giving choice, it's about building some of those behaviors. Now, yeah, absolutely, Max is a very big boy. And I'm going to flip the camera for a second, Elizabeth. I'm going to reach it out here. And I mean, when you see Max with me, you really see how big he is. I mean, he is a big, big boy. Isn't that right, buddy? Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's wanting some scritchies right now. And Max is unusually large for a Moluccan. He's larger than his macaw friends at Palooza. He's larger than all of the other Moluccans we've met. You know, so, and he's honestly the size of a Highland macaw. He is unusually large. Right, Max? Yeah, you're just going to preen for a little bit. But that's okay. I mean, that just means there's more of him to love. He's not overweight. He's just very, very tall. And he has a very, very broad wingspan. He has big feet. I mean, he's that big boy. Now, why is he so big and his friend Corky so small? Corky... you'll see him in some of our videos from Palooza. Corky, I'm going to tell you what's the same about Corky and Max. Corky was bred in the Calgary area. Corky is 30 years old. Max is 30 years old. Corky is male. So is Max. Corky's a Moluccan. So is Max. But Corky weighs about 800 grams and Max is closer to 1.5 kilograms. And Max is much taller, much bigger. So why the difference? Oh, one other thing about Corky. He looks a lot like Max. And he looks more like Max than Mango does. I mean, when you start looking at head shape and everything else, the two of them are peas in a pod. It's just a big size difference. We actually think Corky's parents and myself believe that there's high likelihood that they both were bred by a fellow by the name of Helmut, who ran a store and a breeder called Feather Fantasia back 30 years ago, because that's the time that he was breeding Moluccans in the city. That's the time when they were available, and it's very, very high likelihood that the two of them are siblings. There is some possibility that Max and Mango are siblings too, but they do have a very different look to them. I mean, Mango, when you look at some of the other social media Moluccans, it's kind of fun when you look at them. because you can see, especially if you look at them for a while, just how different some of them look. Mango's got more the look and some of the mannerisms of someone like a Barney. And he honestly, like, if I just took some headshots of Max, our friend Corky, Mango, and our friend Barney, and I put them in a row, and I did not give you anything for size, you'd be able to say, yeah, there's a couple of different cockatoos there, but a couple of them look very, very similar. Barney and Mango look very similar. Max and Mango look very, very similar. But you'd probably say, well, those ones have to be, they have to be related, right? Because they just look like each other. I mean, they must have the same parents somewhere. So it is kind of fun to watch, but I think that there's a high likelihood there. But, it really does take a special person to have a large bird like a Moluccan. There's not many of them around, and I think that's a very good thing. Not that I want to feel special for having a Moluccan. Trust me, I feel a little bit crazy for having one. But it's really because they do need so much attention. They are a toddler with wings. They are a member of the family, and oh my goodness, they need all of that attention. Right, Max? So I'm just going to flip the camera around again here. Yeah, no, lots of attention. Air purifiers, absolutely. Preferably something with an ultra-fine dander. HEPA's great. Something that has washable or cleanable filters to reduce the cost of operation is great too. We use rabbit air filters, and they actually work super well for us. Bass is saying that his father has a feather-crested bird. Yeah. No, but I mean, what happens when your father needs to rehome his bird? Like, are you going to be taking him? Is he going to fit into your lifestyle? Do you have the ability to take on a bird that needs that much attention, that needs that much enrichment? I mean, it's not like a cat or a dog. Much more attention needed for a parrot. Yeah, Elizabeth says they can live a long time. Absolutely. Gray is 50 to 60 years. Amazon's same idea, 50 to 60 years. Tikal the Amazon is 49 right now. He's had a very long life. He might even be older than that. We know he's at least 49. And some of them live even longer. Max, oh, I'm sorry, honey. If he's healthy and he gets a good diet and everything goes well, he could easily outlive me. And I mean, I might be in a position someday where I have to rehome him because, maybe I'm no longer able to have a house. Maybe I'm no longer able to provide for him. What happens when I get older? So that's always in the back of your mind. These are the kind of birds you put in your will. It's quite possible for Max to outlive me. Absolutely, Barbara. Even smaller birds need a lot of care. Yeah, Elizabeth, we're fortunate with Max, how well he's able to talk. Hang on, I've just got to mute. And all right, I'm back, folks. Sorry about that. I had a car playing some very loud music, and I did not want YouTube to give me a copyright strike on that one. That's one of the hazards of filming outdoors. Sometimes you just cannot help that there's music. Now, I tried to mute the audio, and just in case it didn't mute, I made sure I was talking quite loudly over top. So, sorry about that. But yeah, so we've been talking about parrot ownership for quite a while. We've been talking about Palooza for a while. Max, you had a great time, didn't you? Yeah. But I mean, Palooza, Tico, if I took Tico to Palooza, oh my gosh, Tico would not be happy with me because Tico is not into crowds. He's not into that type of thing. Tico might have enjoyed himself at Palooza, but Max would have been kind of annoyed with me for having Tical there. Didn't realize that my friend was going to be able to hang out all day, but and that Max was beginning to feel a little bit more comfortable and was going to be able to hang out on a perch most of the day. Like some Paloozas, Max has been on my arm the entire time, and that does not work well with Tikal. Max does not like Tikal hanging out on me when he's hanging out on me at the same time. And Tikal has a shorter attention span. Yeah. You having fun, Max? Oh, no, that's not chewing. You're not chewing on your harness, honey. No chewing on your harness. You're just setting it nicely, right? I'm going to put it behind you so it's out of your way. Good boy, Max. Yeah. You're such a good boy. So yeah, I'm just going to talk just for a couple of minutes. Max, you want to step up? Okay, I'm going to stand up. Some of you... Oh, we're going to bark at the dogs now, huh? Oh, it's better. So I'm wearing one of my Max Moluccan shirts today. It's got the big Max Moluccan logo on it. You might be able to see some of the text on it. I'm just going to straighten it out because I've been sitting. Sorry, folks. Not super easy to straighten out when you're holding a bird. But there we go. Big Max Moluccan shirt. Pretty fun shirt. And I had them for sale at Palooza. And I had a limited number. And I've got about 4 shirts left from Palooza. I've got one white shirt that's a slightly different print. I have this logo on gray and I have this logo on black. And I have a variety of sizes. So if it's something you want and you want to pick up a Max shirt, I don't need to carry inventory of them. I picked up a few extra for Palooza just so I had them. But if you do want a Max shirt, message me and I'll get you hooked up and I'll honor Palooza pricing on shirts. We can ship them worldwide and we can, if you want to pick up a shirt and some other Max merch, we can get that, we can accommodate that for you as well. I'm going to do a shout out to all of our YouTube subscribers. For those of you who are not aware, YouTube does have a subscription program where if you are a huge fan of Max and you want to, and I just stress this, it's not necessary at all, but if you want to, you can purchase a paid membership. So I'll tell you what's available at a paid level in a minute, but first I want to assure everybody, it's not impacting our regular videos. We're still going to be doing Monday to Friday videos posted at 8:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time every weekday. So you're still going to have those videos. You're still going to have shorts on the weekend. You're still going to have pop-up videos. You're still going to see our live streams on Saturdays, our regularly scheduled one. We took yesterday off because we were at Palooza, but that's the exception. Most other Saturdays we are streaming for you. So, you get daily content already. But if you're a member, you get a couple of things. Number one, you get a badge beside your name to identify yourself and say, hey, you know what? I'm InstaFlock. I'm a huge Max supporter. You get the ability to use some special emojis. And we've got a couple of our friends in the chat on the live stream right now. They've used a few of the emojis, but if you're a supporter and you can use an emoji, toss a few of them up in the chat just so that people can see what the custom emojis look like. You're going to get some insider news, some extra photos, maybe some extra videos, just sharing a little bit more sort of behind the scenes, some of what happens when we're filming Max, some of the bloopers, some of the content that I think, you're here to see Max, maybe you're not here to see me, or maybe I'm going to share a little bit extra news with Max that, I think that InstaFlock might be really, really interested in. So we've got lots of posts up right now on the community page. We've got an insider video up already. This week we even did an early release of a video. One of our members was thrilled with that because they said, 8:30 a.m. is great, but it was wonderful that I could see it a little bit early and be the first person to see it. So we can experiment with some of that. So membership costs, if you want to subscribe, it is $3.99 a month. and you can subscribe for 1 month or multiple months, up to you. You know, it's totally optional. And I always want to stress that because there's lots of ways to support Max even without spending a penny. If you want to support Max, give us likes, give us comments, share our videos. That's really all it takes to be part of the flock. But if you want to support and do a little bit more, there's memberships. Now, memberships, there's something else about them that's this month. It's our first month launching them, and YouTube has a bonus program. For every brand new member that we get this month, and it's fine, even if you're just a member for 1 month, you spend $3.99 for the month, YouTube is going to give us a bonus of $15 Canadian. So your $3.99 actually becomes $18.99. And it's a great way to stretch out a little bit of coin if you want to sort of do a one-time support of Max. We'd love it if you would. But I want to just share that with you because it's a special bonus program we're fortunate to be selected for. And you know what? If YouTube wants to support us and, you know, they want to take your $3.99 and turn it into $18.99 for the first month only, like, I mean, that's great. You know, so if you are thinking about supporting Max, we've got 3 weeks left in the drive, but I wanted to just tell you about that because that's really making a huge difference. So huge thank you to everybody who's already subscribed to our supporters channel, but we appreciate each and every one of you. So yeah, thank you so much for that. Another perk for supporters, we're going to do some discounts on some merch as well. So I mean, you know, we want to really show you the value. We want to make sure that you feel taken care of. We want to make sure you feel special. Right, Max? So yeah, I'm just going to flip this and I'm just going to check comments. Oh, hang on. That did not flip. You did not need the close-up of me peering in with my hat. Uh-oh. So something wonky's happened to comments. I'm not getting fresh comments right now. But we've been out streaming for about... That was pretty loud. We've been streaming for about 42 minutes. So what I'm going to do, as I do at the end of every live stream, I'm outside. I'm just going to fold up the camera here a little bit so I can stand up and just sort of treat it as a handheld a little bit easier. And I'm going to see if I can encourage Max to give us a buck. Okay? Let's see if we got a buck for everybody, okay? Oh, it's so nice out here. Max, can I get a buck? That was bark. How about a buck? For you, chicken? Buck. No, Mom, you bark, I bark. Do you want to do a buck? Oh, there's a dog over there. No wonder. Sit up and you're trying to tell the dog hello. Well, that was pretty noisy, Max. So, yeah. How about a... Yeah. Well, I don't think Max has got any box to give today, but he does have some barks. Is that a little tiny dog yipping? Yeah, good job. And there's a wave. Good job, Max. So I think we'll round out the stream just with that little greeting from Max, but we want to thank each and every one of you for joining us today. And yeah, we might see if we're going to hang out on Einstein's Live in the chat room in a little bit. And if there's some comments I've not responded to, I'm going to read them off later. If you've got any questions, leave them as a regular comment after the video, and I'll make sure that I get to them. But I want to say thank you again for being a supporter and for hanging out with us and spending some time with us this Sunday morning. It's been great. Buck, everybody. Okay, Max, how do I stop this one? I'm going to flip this. There we go. There's stop button. There, and